Hey, this is Matt. I'm here with Austin Ingraham. He's with the band Gunshine out of Florida. And man, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you having me.
So, dig the new song. You guys are like um, my cup of tea, right up my alley. You're kind of 80s, 90s Motley Crue, maybe type with your twist on it.
Totally.
And yeah, that's what really caught my ear when I got the press release. So just I don't know. Tell me about the new single "Wall Said to Call."
Yeah, Wall Said to Call was actually our very first single we put out. We just released our debut record, which came out June 24th. So it's a 10-song album.
Hmm.
And it really, we're just trying to kind of bring the rawness and kind of the realness back to rock and roll. It's just um, getting back to just there's kind of a lot of plastic, I guess, going on sometimes with new rock, and we're just trying to get back to the realness and we did all everything live in studio, so
Nice.
yeah, but what you said was accurate. There's GNR is definitely those influences are in there, Motley Crue, all that stuff, but we also incorporate like we love bands like Avenged Sevenfold, and we have a lot of modern kind of things as well. So we put our own spin on it.
Right.
But
That's what I was saying. Your own twist. Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. So there's a lot of depth to it, and especially if you get into like the last track on the record, song called "Meet You There," and it's
Hmm.
very you'll hear like a lot of almost like some Duran Duran and Dio and Journey, all kinds of stuff going on. So
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah. So you guys are pulling influence from everywhere.
absolutely, yeah. Like me, for me, it's like I'm a huge Boston guy actually. So melody is always really important. And a lot of that 80s kind of new wave or 80s soft rock, a lot of that stuff, or even some just newer pop music, whatever. I'm always listening to all kinds of different styles of music and anything that's got like a catchy hook, catchy melody. I'm definitely influenced by, and that's kind of what we try to do in Gunshine is incorporate kind of the edginess of like how ACDC would be, but with like the melody of like Boston or something like that. So we try to kind of fuse that.
Gotcha. So how did you guys come up with the name Gunshine? I mean, where did that come from?
So, well, we were just thinking because so many bands are from either LA or New York, whatever. So we were just trying to. We're actually from Florida, so we're
Right.
like the panhandle of Florida, like so Pensacola. We were trying to think of a way we could somehow incorporate the fact that we're from Florida and kind of incorporate that into our name somehow. So I was just googling like different Florida terms and stuff, and it said sometimes Florida is known as the Gunshine State because it's shaped like a gun, and
Okay.
and Florida is called the Sunshine State.
Right.
So when I was reading that, I saw Gunshine, and I was like, we're from Florida, and I was like, man, that's I don't know, I thought that was cool. So
Huh, just stuck, huh?
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean, that makes sense that, being from up there in the panhandle, because I was reading in your press release here, it says drums and guitars were recorded at Clearwave Studio in Decatur, Alabama, with engineer Jeremy Stevens, who did Greg Allman and Alabama Shakes.
Hmm.
And then the vocals were tracked in Las Vegas, which with blah blah blah, who did Chris Collier, who did Corn, White Snake, Mick Mars, Lynch Mob. I mean, that's some big names there, man.
Yeah, we've known Chris for like 5 years now, and he's just phenomenal producer, engineer, and he's out in Vegas now. I met him when I lived in California, but yeah, he does the corn stuff. Everybody you listed, and he's just super talented musician, producer, engineer, mixer, all of the above. So yeah, we kind of we did the first like the drums and guitars, like it says in at in Decatur, and
Hmm.
that's a killer studio as well. It's very he's got an old tape machine, so you can totally go analog.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, super cool because it's not most studios you got to go direct or whatever. It's totally set up to be able to mic up cabs and have them as loud as you want or whatever. So yeah, we went super old school. We recorded drums and guitars there, and then out to Vegas for the vocals, and then Chris mixed and mastered everything as well. So
So just props to you, man. Phenomenal guitar playing.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Like I said, that's the what you guys play is really my cup of tea. I mean, uh, of course, all my guys that I listened to back then are in their 50s and 60s now, but
Yeah.
Poison and Def Leppard and all them's out on the road right now. But I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it reminded me of uh of that era with the higher pitched vocals and the guitar solos. Because I mean, if you think about it, through the grunge era, there was never many guitar solos in grunge.
Right.
And then once new metal started coming out, still not so much guitar solos, but then like he was mentioning, like with Vince Sevenfold. I
Mhm.
mean, Sinister Gates is like one of my favorite guitar players. The dude can just shred.
Same.
And
Absolutely.
I mean, he just is so it's really cool to hear, you know, music going back in that direction. Cause I've interviewed a few bands lately that are trying to revive that era with their twist on it.
Right.
And like it just I think it was, I don't know how to put this. It was kind of like, big hair, glam, sex, drugs, and rock and roll back then.
Mhm.
Now it's just somebody playing the music and, ripping off the shreds on the guitar and the vocals and everything. And then I absolutely loved it, man. I mean, I think you
Appreciate it,
guys
man.
got a bright future.
Yeah, that's what it is trying to bring back the edge, like I said before, and that's the kind of stuff I grew up loving, like Randy Rhoads, Slash, of course, Van Halen, Paul Gilbert, all those guys, and really, I mean, I wanted to, even before Greta came out, I kind of had been trying to do this for a long time, but it took so many years to find the right pieces and find the right singer, and that was a real challenge as well. But when it all came together, we all had a really good chemistry, and but yeah, man, that's really what it's all about is trying to just bring back, just not necessarily that we're trying to bring it back. That's just what we do naturally. It's just
Right.
rock and roll really, and just like I said, just getting back to the the shredding and uh, crazy drum fills and all that stuff, but still having catchy songs and all. That's all still important as well for us. So yeah, but I appreciate the kind words, man, for sure.
Oh well, I mean, and we've all been in a bar somewhere where we've seen that the wall said to call.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
That was actually the first song we wrote together, and he had that line, "Wallace said to call if I need anything." And I thought it was presented in kind of a catchy way, and it just was fitting for that song because it's very just that song's lighthearted and fun, and lyrically, that's what we were trying to do as well, is bring back the fun and the party to rock and roll. And a lot of the songs on the album are very easy to sing along to, super chanty, especially the song "Feel Alright." It's very
uh-huh.
like anthemic or whatever. A lot of anthems on the album, and that really that's what it's all about is just we want people to have a good time and listen to the album and um you know feel positive and everything. So
Right. So what about maybe a ballad? Do you see that anywhere in the future?
there's not one on this record, but in the next, so our singer actually and our bass player, they both play piano as well, so
Mhm.
they're already talking about, our singer's talking about doing like some kind of piano thing as well. So yeah, we're working on stuff on album number 2 already. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So like where you have you guys played out anywhere recently, or you got any plans for supporting the album?
Yeah, we just got off a run with Buck Cherry. Down is a few dates here in Florida, and then we're getting ready to headline the Sanger Theater, which is one of our really nice venues here in Pensacola. And then we have some other things behind the scenes, some tours in the works and stuff. So we got a lot going on right now, and right now we're just trying to get as many ears on the album as possible. So
So are you guys are you a live band? I mean, you guys get out there and just do kick ass and do your thing.
oh, live, it honestly, in my opinion, it's even better than listening to the record because we add, there's more. We add more jam stuff. We extend parts, and we really come into our element live, especially.
Oh yeah. So you had just mentioned, talking about Eddie Van Halen and Paul Gilbert. Do you remember, or did you ever see where course, the song "Pound Cake," where Eddie Van Halen takes the drill to the
Oh
strings.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
then Paul Gilbert took a paddle and put picks on it.
Oh yeah,
Do you
yeah.
remember that?
Of course, yeah. I always thought that was cool. Yeah, he had
Yeah,
the drill with the picks on the end of it.
right. And he was,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Mr. Big was a hell of a band, man. They was
Oh yeah.
all good musicians. I mean, and that's one of the things that kind of kills me is like there was so many good musicians back then, and most of them are just gone now. I
Mhm.
mean, we just had L.A. Guns, Tom Kiefer, and Faster Pussycat here, which I missed, but I've seen Faster Pussycat, I've seen Tom Kiefer, I've seen Cinderella, but never seen LA Guns. Would have loved to seen them because I think Tracy Guns is another one that's just a phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah, no, they actually just played like right down the street from us, one of the venues we have around here, and I totally missed it. I heard about it after they had already played. So, but yeah, I did see them when I was out in California too, and they were great live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what's oh, what's your favorite venue to play, man? I mean, that you guys have been to. Like, I mean, talk about out in California and whatnot, or where all is your favorite places to play.
Yeah, I mean, the band that I toured with for a while, New Year's Day, we toured with like Hailstorm, Godsmack, and stuff. So we were getting to do like arena tours and stuff like
Right.
that. And so some of those, there was one Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. That was one of my favorite arenas we did. And then some of the festivals too, like Louder Than Life was a great one. Incarceration, we
Yeah,
did last year. All that stuff, man. I love it all. It's all great. I did get to go to Australia and Europe as well. So,
that's
um,
that's nice. Lucky.
yes, yeah, we did download Australia. So that was definitely very memorable as well. So,
I
yeah,
bet.
it's hard to pick. It's hard to pick one. Lots of great places, and we're uh, we're just hoping to do them all with Gunshine very soon.
Yeah, that's one of the places on my bucket list, man, is Australia.
Yeah,
My wife's kind of like, there's too many critters out there, and I'm like, well,
yeah, I
I
know.
don't.
Well, we were only out there actually for a week, and we were in the very, like, popular we were in Sydney and then Melbourne. Everybody was kinda saying most of the critters and stuff, they're in, like, some of the more, like, country parts, I guess, or
Right.
whatever, so but
Awesome. So the incarceration last year, man, that was what the first year coming back after COVID, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that had to be pretty cool because I mean everybody was dying to see festivals.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, we had not done anything real big in a while just because of the COVID thing. Actually, our last tour was in Europe. Our last show was in Germany right before COVID, and then that whole thing happened, which, the silver lining was it allowed me to get Gunshine going in the meantime and everything, so that was there's always, you know, goods and bads, I guess, of every situation, but yeah, that incarceration last year, it was a great feeling for sure to be able to do that. And that was super cool with like I guess it was like an old prison next to
Yeah,
the stage or whatever.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
the old Mansfield Reformatory.
Yeah, so I got to walk around that. That was really cool.
Have you ever seen the movie Shawshank Redemption?
I'm terrible with my movies, so I actually haven't seen it, but I've heard about it, of course.
Yeah, that's where it was filmed
Yeah, yeah.
at that prison. So yeah, it's got some history. So
Yeah, that's what I heard. I'm actually gonna have to go watch that now for sure.
yeah, it's kind of a long one, but it's a hell of a movie.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, what do you personally? I mean, what are you into when you're not making music?
Really, it's just like, man, we live really close to the beach, so I'm always like going to the beach. I like to hike, which we're not in California anymore. There was tons of hiking spots out there, but um, like just going to the beach all the time, being outside, working out. I'm very into like fitness and stuff like that as well. So, um, but other than that, yeah, I'm just constantly writing songs and playing guitar but yeah, I'm really into sports as well. I like playing like I'll go shoot hoops and stuff like that. I played baseball actually in varsity in high school. So um, but yeah, anything like active, outside, you know, anything like that, I'm
Well,
good with
yeah, and
as well.
being down there, I mean, there's plenty of room for all of that.
Yeah, Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah. What about surfing? You doing any of the surfing?
Yeah, my dad is a huge surfer, but I just never really got. I was kind of getting into guitar, when I was coming up and everything. And we at the time we didn't even live near a beach, even though I was born in Daytona Beach, lived in Gainesville for a while, and but there was a part when I was growing up where we lived like 2 hours, from a beach or whatever. So it was hard to practice surfing at the time, So
Right.
but my dad's been surfing since he's like 14. He's great at it.
Oh
But
yeah.
I do like it though.
Never really tried it. We're actually going to on a cruise in September, and Grand Turk is one of our stops. They've got one of those uh I don't know what they call it, where you get on it's a wave pool when you're on a surfboard.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched so many people get wiped out on those things, but I'm willing to try it.
That's all
Might,
part of it.
might actually be funny to film it and put it on my YouTube.
Right. Yeah, yeah, it's all part of it. So
So, what got you into music, man? I mean, besides actually hearing it and being like, "Oh shit, this is what I want to do." I mean, do you have any family background in music, or I mean, what got you into guitar and just got you started?
well, yeah, my dad plays bass and he's an audio guy as well, but he would always have like music on in the car, and I just distinctly remember him always being able to name the artist and the song that was on. And back then, when I was a little kid growing up, I was just thinking like, how does he know like all these bands and all these songs or whatever? And I don't know. So I always think about that, and he'd be like, oh yeah, this is Ozzy or whatever, and so that's kind of how I got into music. And then um he I don't know, I just started taking lessons when I was like 7 or 8, but he got me a little acoustic guitar just to kind of have around the house. And then I just decided I wanted to get lessons. And um but as I mentioned, I did play sports like through school, and there was periods, like there was one point I think like in 5th grade where I didn't play for like a year because I was doing other things like sports. And then um, when I was around 17, I started playing out and like working like bar bands and stuff like that. And that's kind of, when I started getting paid to play guitar, then it was kind of like, okay, time to take it a little more seriously now. So
Right,
I started really getting into it then. And then I moved out to California when I was like 22, went to MI in California, Musicians Institute.
right.
And that was an amazing experience as well. So
Oh, I
yeah,
bet.
it's been a great journey so far.
Oh yeah. So it sounds like me and your dad would get along great because I'm the same way. My people will call me and ask me like, "Man, who sings this one song?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's so and so." And
Yeah.
I can tell them like what album it's off of. Some of them I can even tell them like what song on the album it is. What number.
Right. Yeah.
It's weird that I've always just kind of retained that information, but it's like, you know, I even won a bet one time for like $50. They went through, I want to say 6 channels on the radio. It was like two country, classic rock, rap, whatever. And I was like, they said you have 5 seconds on each channel to name the song and the artist. And it was like bam, 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 bam. And they was just like the dude was like, I can't even argue with you. Here's your $50.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man,
That's amazing.
it's I don't know what it is. It's like when it comes to music, my brain's a sponge. Anything else, I'm just like, duh, you know.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So,
awesome though, man.
but yeah, man. I mean, I like I said, I'm digging the music, and I think that you guys really got something there. I mean, the just straight forward rock and roll, just wailing guitars and stuff, man. That's been missing for some time, and
Yeah, I agree. And that's, we're really passionate about this album and this band, and really just, playing it playing it raw, playing it real, and just getting back to that, the stuff that we all miss.
so I mean, I remember New Year's Day. So is that over with or?
Well, those guys, they're still doing their thing. They're going on tour. I think they have a run with Hailstorm coming up in September. But I'm so busy with Gunshine now, so I'm kind of doing this full time. But
Okay.
no, we're all in great standing. Definitely, I still talk to those guys all the time. And but yeah, it was just one of those things. I just got started doing this full time, and this is kind of really where my heart's at with music, and really what I've been trying to do long before I even joined New Year's Day. It was
Right.
just that at the time I couldn't find the right singers and everything, but this has kind of been brewing for I would say like 6 or 7 years now, so or longer.
Well, and that's all that matters, man, is that, you're doing what makes you happy. You're doing what makes, like you said, where your heart is, well, what makes your heart happy.
Right.
You're focusing on your own thing and you're doing your own thing. And like I said, from a guy that's from that, grew up in that area or era, I mean, it's just, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm ready to get the lighter out. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so,
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. We hope to I'm sure we'll be out your way sometime in the future. So.
well, I might be down your way sometime because I'm trying to get my wife to move down there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
come on.
we're actually talking about, well, our cruise goes out of Port Canaveral. So we're gonna come down. We come into Orlando, and then we're gonna, bunker down somewhere over there. But my brother actually just sent me a house today that he's looking at. He lives in Washington State, and it's in Quincy, Florida,
Oh, okay.
out there by Tallahassee.
Oh, I got you. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so that's about 2 or 3 hours from us, so
oh
that's
shit,
cooler, man.
that's Florida's a lot bigger than what people think.
It is, it's crazy because you can go from here, which we're in the very northwest part of Florida. You can go from here all the way to, like you can drive 15 hours and still be in Florida.
Right, right. Yeah. I mean, from top to bottom is like, hell, 500 miles or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't, when you look at it on the map, it don't look that big, but yeah, I've drove through it many times, and I-10 from Jacksonville all the way over is long, and yeah, pretty
Right.
good size day. But just one more question, man. What is your favorite guitar? I mean, are you sponsored by anybody, or do you have your preference?
Well, for me, Gibson Les Paul has just always been my thing. I actually have let me show you. I got this isn't my main one, but it was the one that this is like a if you're a big Randy Rhoads fan, like
Yeah.
Ozzy, it's a 91 custom. I don't know if you can see it too
Yeah,
well.
that is pretty, man.
Yeah, it's got like the gold hardware. But yeah, man, Les Pauls for me, that's just my forte, I guess, so to speak. And it feels the most comfortable for me, it's got the sound. I've just always gravitated to a Les Paul, so that's kind of it for me.
Well, what else do you prefer, like as far as like, your pedals and your amps and whatnot?
Yeah, so on the record I did I keep it pretty simple. It's a Marshall JCM 800, which was modded as well. I had it modded, so it's a little hotter. It's got a little bit more gain, I guess, than how they come stock. But I it's really just that, and then I have a couple simple pedals like a wah. I got a chorus, like little slight modulation for some like leads and stuff. I recorded everything dry, and then our engineer Chris kind of added the delay in post or whatever, but he just added a touch or whatever. And because in the studio I like to keep it really dry to know like how I'm playing things. I don't want to cover anything up or whatever. So
Right.
but yeah, it's really straightforward. It's just Les Paul, Marshall, couple overdrive pedals, and wah wah things like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do have a Pog octave pedal, and that's a little bit of a secret weapon. I like using that thing. We kind of used it to layer some like lower octaves and parts like that. But yeah, I'm a pretty bare bones player. I just really I get the sound, with out of the guitar that I want with my hands. I use volume controls a lot. I'm very much a believer in how you pick, and you can change the sound all just with your hands. So I'm kind of big on that.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for sharing your style with us. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So acoustic wise, do you use Gibson with that too?
I don't really play a whole lot of acoustic. I have an Ovation, and then I have a Fender acoustic guitar, but I love the Gibsons. They're just, they're super, super expensive, and I just don't play acoustic all the time. But yeah, I have a few at the house that when I'm songwriting or messing around, I'll just pick those up. But
Yeah,
yeah, for the most part, it's Gibson, so.
Ovation, I know, is a really good one. Makes a hell of a 6 string and 12 string.
Yeah.
The electric acoustic. I mean, yeah, I've always heard good things about them. I knew a couple people back in high school that had them. So
Yeah, they're good, like, midline guitars and just easy and, yeah, I don't have any issues with it at all, so.
hell
It
yeah,
is weird for some people, it's got the rounded back, though, so sometimes it, like, slides off your leg or whatever because
right,
it's got, like, a round the back of it's round, so it'll just slide, but that's the only complaint with Ovations.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, I mean, we kind of covered it all. I appreciate your time, and I'm gonna get this posted up on up on YouTube and my Facebook page, and like I've told other people that I've talked to, after I get back from my vacation, I'm looking at starting a podcast. So basically, what I want to do with that is like my first show is going to be just kind of me telling people what I'm about, blah blah blah. But after that, I want to do like a 30 to 35-minute segment of just with intervals, of independent artists and whatnot. So that, because with, labels, you got to go through all the, crap with the copyrights and all that. But
Right.
with independence, you can say, hey, man, I want you to play my song and, can get you out there even more. I mean, that's what I'm about. I mean,
Yeah.
music is my passion as well, not in the same way as yours, but I love to listen to it. Like I said, my brain's a sponge when it comes to it.
Yeah.
And it's my way of, I guess I never really had the patience to learn to play. uh I sound like a wounded donkey when I try to sing. So you know it's it's more of just this is my way of being able to express music. And I mean, I love people like you and all the other artists that I've talked to, because I mean, you guys are in the same boat as me, except for you're the ones that I'm like, you know, that I've always, I don't want to say idolized, but I guess that's kind of a way, because of your talent, of the stuff that you just sit down and write and you put out, and it comes on the radio or it comes on, like I really don't stream much. I mean, I've downloaded some songs to my phone, but I mean, for me, it's always been, radio, CDs, tapes,
Mhm.
whatever. And, to go and buy a tape and, throw it in a tape player back in the day and just, with the stacked stereo and just
Yeah.
jam it. I mean, it was exciting for us,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
Absolutely. Or even vinyl and just getting to see the artwork on it and just having a physical copy is just still, so much cooler.
Yes. And vinyl is making a comeback.
Oh,
So,
yeah. And so are CDs.
yes, I've heard that. I did not know that until recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we had some people telling us to not get CDs originally, and there were so many people asking for them, in our shows around here, and people still want them, and they like having the physical copies, and I think even if they don't have a CD player, they just still like having the CD, so they can look at the lyric book and whatever
Hmm.
else.
Yep.
But,
Yep.
most people do have, some way to play it, whether it's like an older car or whatever it is, but
Right. Right. All right, my man. Well, like I said, I appreciate your time. You know, uh, I'm on my Facebook page is Let's Talk Music. So if y'all like on that, I can get in touch with you. I'll like on yours.
yeah.
That way, if you guys are up here around Columbus or the Dayton area or whatever, let me know, and we'll set up a live one or something.
Yeah, that'd be killer.
All right, dude. Well, you have a good evening and you enjoy your Thai food.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Till next time.
All right, man. Later.
All right, peace.